Hey everybody, welcome to this last daily 2025 ProcureTech Cup daily update show. Or I think I said daily twice there, but who cares? One last time for the memories. So we have a couple exciting announcements to make today around the championship matchup. We'll talk about looking ahead as well. Actually, let me bring up the agenda here. I'm all over the place and just too much folly, right? So tournament stats, we'll cover a couple of the things that made this edition unique this year. We'll talk about the results for the championship match, which I think everybody's waiting for. We've got a chat with the winners planned as well. Just get a sense for how they approach the tournament, what happened from their perspective, right? You only get to hear from Sheena and I, and so it's always good to see what's happening behind the curtain of the Wizard of Oz, so to speak. And then we'll talk about who won the prediction bracket. There is one outright winner. So that's exciting. And then we'll talk about next year, right? Looking ahead, what should we expect going into the next season of the the road to the ProcureTech Cup? So let's do this thing. Right before I bring on Sheena, just a reminder to go download the ebook. I know I have a broken record on that, but it's the best place to find the company details, solution categories, where they're based out of, demo links if they provided one, and much, much more. So you just go to store.pureprocurement.ca to grab your free copy of the book. It'll still be there after the tournament, but you won't have me reminding you to download it. So now's the time. All right. That being said, let's bring on Sheena Smith. How's it going?
Oh my gosh, you've got your bow tie and everything.
Yep. You got to keep the traditions rolling, right?
Keep it formal for the last one. I put on lipstick and pearls, so I think we're appropriately dressed for today's announcement. I'm so excited.
That's right. I was going to compliment you on that as
Thank
well.
you.
Thanks for dressing up.
Yes.
I appreciate it. I even have something new this year, which are the red gloves of presentation of the cup. Right?
Oh well, you can't obviously touch the cup.
That's right. Yeah. I can't touch it because I don't win it, and the white gloves are for the Stanley Cup. So the red gloves, the red Canadian gloves of ProcureTech Cup are what's going to happen.
Who is Airbase passing the trophy to? Should we go into it?
We will in just a second here. Don't get ahead of me too much. I want to make the suspense last a tiny bit.
There you go.
So we'll talk about a couple of the tournament stats here, which I wanted to share with you all. So 4 things, right? Total unique voters. So I didn't actually count that last year, and it would have been a nightmare, but I was equipped to do it this year. So we had about 8,308 unique voters over the course of the tournament, which so it's pretty insane. People leaving a comment to vote for one of the brands in one of the rounds. Total votes, we went from 7,000 to 17,000, so 138% increase, which to me blew my mind. So a vote.
Really?
So if somebody left a comment voting for 8 brands, well, those were 8 votes, right? So that's why you have comments there as well in the second or in the third point. So we had a 24% increase in comments throughout the span of the tournament here. And then total impressions were actually down, but for anybody who spends a meaningful amount of time on LinkedIn, that shouldn't surprise you. I'm actually surprised it wasn't lower than that, in the sense where impressions have really gone down on LinkedIn content in general over the past year. But I think we made up for it in enthusiasm in the votes and the comments piece.
Yeah, I'd say the engagement is more important than the impressions, right?
Absolutely. Yep. And I think, for anybody who follows LinkedIn a little bit as well, and their product team, that's what they're trying to be, right? The town square, or the water cooler, virtual water cooler, so to speak. And so it trends with their stated objectives here. The last thing I wanted to show you as well was votes by round by year. So at the bottom here, you have last year was pretty stable from round to round, right? So from the round of 64 to the finals. The finals, we actually got a bit more engagement or votes, I should say, than this year. But this year, given the fact that all the brands own their participation, and we really saw some high level strategy being implemented. I think it explains kind of the difference as well from last year in terms of the votes by round. So glad to see that evolution as well.
Super interesting.
Yeah, and I'll probably keep playing with the stats over the next couple of weeks, but that's what I wanted to at least
break it down by category of solution, break it down by demographics. Even would be interesting. I know you can do it.
I'll send you I'll send you the raw data, Sheena, so you can.
I can play with it and you don't have to.
Right.
I get it.
That's right. No, and then we can collide the analysis.
Exactly.
All right, so cool. All right, so I think that's enough stats, right? I think we should probably get to the announcement here. So your 2025 ProcureTech Cup champs are, and you'll know in 10 seconds. So Trust Your Supplier coming out on top here with their highest performance of the tournament, and Crowd giving them a good run for their money as well with a pretty high score here. So congrats to both the participants in the final matchup here, and to Trust Your Supplier for taking the trophy, taking the cup. And on that note, actually, we've got some special guests here. We've got Sai and April from Trust Your Supplier. Thanks for coming on, guys, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Sheena.
Congrats, both.
What do we say? I mean, we are honored. We are grateful. Definitely did not expect this when we started this tournament at all, right? I was talking to April and my team. Joel, kudos to you that you made this such a fun and such an engaging tournament here that we didn't even realize what we were getting into. But then once April done a great job of reaching out to our extended teams and all that. And then it is almost like you kind of put us on drugs, and then we became very addictive, right? and then all our network and friends and everybody, they pushed the envelope that I did not even imagine. I mean, so this was crazy. I mean, great. I mean, this is a fantastic thing for Trust Your Supplier. But first of all, let me congratulate Mikita, the Crown team. I mean, I always said that. I think you selected like 64 participants. I think all the startups are doing such a great job of transforming the industry. Everyone is great, and then especially Crown, Binning, Fair Market, the last four. Congratulations to everybody. I think this is yeah. I mean, finally, I think there is one winner. Unfortunately, I mean, we are glad that we have taken that, but everybody is a champion here. That we are like a startup founders like me, Mikita, and I can name like some of them, right? I mean, Conrad from Graphite, Lalita from Oro Labs, even Costas from Hicks, Stephanie from Tealbook. I know all these founders, right? Gregory from Scout B. I mean, these people put in like so much their life on it, and everybody trying to achieve something unique, trying to transform the industry. They are the inspiration, for all of us. And Joel, one thing that I have to mention this to you is you are probably the first guy really bringing a lot of exposure and attention to the startup community. Because as you mentioned, I've worked at IBM and I've worked with big consulting companies. I mean, it is very difficult for to get an exposure to work with big companies, and then what you're trying to do for the ProcureTech startups is, fantastic job. We all commend you. We're grateful for that. I mean, this obviously is a great exposure, and this inspires us to do whatever best that here. I mean, we our vision when we started this is we want to innovate, we want to transform supplier management, and then bring a completely different this thing, and then, what like industry is doing with. That is what actually is our vision, and this win here, becoming champions here, motivate us more, and we are humble. Thank you, Sheena. You guys have done a great job.
Thanks
For that, Sai. And just I want to tell a little story because just from what you said at the outset, right, where it's like, oh, we didn't even know if we wanted to participate. And I remember being on a call with April, and I think it was Chad as well, and trying to explain the concept, right. And I always say, like, that's the biggest hurdle is like buying into the concept. We're like, yeah, we're gonna run like a tournament, bracket tournament on LinkedIn, and people are like, what the hell are you talking about, right? And so I commend you for taking the leap. And April, I'd throw it over to you just to get a sense for how you approached it and how you were able to get the results that you did, because I think once you did buy in, you bought in 110%. So I'm curious to if you'd share some of your approach, your tactics with us in the audience.
Yeah,
come back next year.
Absolutely. And one unexpected consequence of this, I have to say, is I heard from one of my team members this morning that said this is the first time they really talked about their friends and family about what they do for a living. And they were so engaged and curious. And so it's actually, going beyond our community as to what we do and why it's important. So yeah, so I think like everybody else, a couple of similar tactics, posting on social media, building up those alliances with other companies. A special thank you to the companies that, worked with us there. That was super helpful. I don't know if this is unique or not, but a couple of other things I did was we have a monthly newsletter, the Trust Report, that has about 4,000 subscribers. And so I timed the release of that to one of our match days. So that went out with an ask for voting to those 4,000 people, and also on LinkedIn as well. The other thing that I think, Joel, you mentioned is probably unique is I put a pop-up on our website so that anybody that visited our website would have an opportunity to vote for us as well. So from a marketing side, those are kind of a couple of things. A lot of it was communications. And so I have to give a lot of credit to our broad network of professionals that include our customers, our partners, our professional networks, and especially our employees. They really they've had a lot of fun with it. And I just really am proud of them. They've really maintained a high level of sportsmanship and have been cheering me on as I've been kind of leading them as well. So
very cool.
That's amazing.
One thing quickly, Joel. I mean, I have to thank our customers, partners, and then all the people who voted for us. They have been tirelessly voted for us for every round. I mean, even like people like Bob Murphy, some of the industry veterans, like were patiently voted for us, and thank you. Without their support, obviously we wouldn't have been the champions today. We are very grateful for that.
And what I saw in the comments too is like your connection with higher education, right? Like I think you probably onboarded a bunch of students to LinkedIn through the tournament as well, right? Because we saw a lot of university profiles from the same 3-4 cities be created for the tournament, right? Or for people that were getting on LinkedIn, I think, for the first time.
That is true, actually, Joel. I mean, actually, as a matter of fact, some of the university professors already reaching out to us and saying that, oh, we love your product, and we would like to work with you guys, and then hopefully you guys can take some of our students as interns and some job offers. I mean, this has actually opened up a lot of
oh my
things.
gosh, send the rest over to the Rise Now apprenticeship program.
Yeah,
which is our first cohort. Yeah. We're getting ready to launch our second one. So I love that engagement of the young procurement community. I'm actually kind of seeing for the first time and working with the cohort at Rise Now that these kids are studying supply chain. They're studying procurement in university, and they are choosing this as a career, whether they go to the SaaS side, whether they go to the consulting side, or whether they're in working procurement in-house within an organization. And it's so powerful, because I feel like the joke with my millennial generation is that we stumbled in here, right? We had planned to do other things and we just ended up in procurement. And so seeing it as a choice and seeing the buzz that has come from this tournament specifically, especially in that younger community, those are our future leaders. And that's so inspiring to me. And so April, thank you for engaging them. And Ty, thank you for bringing that community to our space.
Absolutely. And
Thank you.
one other thing that I learned too is so we have a lot of technical people on our team. And to me, it's in my world, everybody has a LinkedIn profile and engages and stuff. And it was surprising to me how many didn't. So trying to get them engaged, that was my big concern starting the tournament is, are we going to be able to get them to become social? And they really came through for us. So.
Microsoft should be thanking us for upping their user count.
Yeah. Might send them an invoice and see what happens.
Exactly. No kidding.
So on that note, let me just do the little ceremonial thing here, and we'll put on the gloves, and we'll go get the cup. I'll virtually present it to you. Oh my God! You know this thing is like 35 pounds, right? So I don't know that when it's in the background you don't really see how big it is, but yeah. So here it is. I'll put it right here for now. But it'll be. I'll get in touch with the April side, and we'll figure out what we do with it. If it has a place in the Trust Your Supplier lobby for the year or what. Yeah, we'll get in touch. But congratulations again. And on that note, we'll let you get back to your day, get back to the real job of ProcureTech, and to celebrate with the rest of the team. And Sheena and I will have a couple more segments here.
Okay, one last thing.
Thank you so much.
We would love to, if people are curious about Trust Your Supplier, we would love to invite them to, we're going to have a LinkedIn Live next week where we're going to talk about our product and demo it. So I'll put that in the chat, and, I hope everybody, if they're curious and want to see what we do, would love for you to join.
Perfect. Thanks so much, April. I know I'll probably be tuning in because I know you didn't have time to provide that demo. Like, I think you were one of the last participants to join in, right? So didn't have time to provide the demo. So it'll be a welcome addition to the content for sure coming out of the cup. So congratulations again, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Sheena.
Thank you.
My God, that was quite something. All right, so let's go here. So I think everybody who's still with us here has probably put a prediction bracket in.
Yeah, they want to know who's getting the prize pack.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what I'm most excited about is that I get to use this again. Chad Hill, of course. I mean, I think he went like he wasn't in the top 10 the last couple of times we looked at.
No, he went up and down.
Yeah.
Wow, so 52%. That's pretty incredible.
And he eked out the 50%ers at the end there just because he's taken Trust Your Supplier to go the whole way, right?
Yeah.
I was looking at his prediction bracket going like, oh, how's this going to happen? So I know Stefano's going to be very, very disappointed. Jules as well. They were both vying for that top spot.
They made it so far.
Yeah. But I think the trend I'm seeing is like if you're in the mix in the like 64-32 rounds, you're probably in the mix the whole way.
Yep.
So we saw some of the same names come up over and over again. So Chad, congratulations. You will get your procurement and Rise Now prize pack in the mail. And I've actually printed a paper copy of the ProcureTech Cup Almanac, signed and numbered, which you will get. So that's some something you should frame and put up on the wall.
I was like, are you into NFTs now, Joel? That doesn't strike me as like your thing.
No, it's a real FT. So that's pretty much it, guys. Looking ahead to the 2025-2026 season, just a couple things here. So I will be sending a survey out to participants, so the brands that participated in the tournament, to get your feedback. We're always trying to improve the event. I put out a quick note yesterday on some of the things we did notice. So of course, there's going to be a couple changes as we keep building the plane as we fly it here. I'll put a survey out at large as well. So for anybody who was a viewer or an onlooker, somebody who participated in the Cup as a viewer, I want to get your feedback as well on how we can keep making this better. And then we'll fall into Sheena and I the 2025-2026 season design. So how are we keeping it engaging, keeping it fresh? Not necessarily the same exact format as last year, but with still the focus on education, the how of ProcureTech, right? So we've got a lot of content out there about what is ProcureTech, what are the brands that are out there, but less about how to use it, how to implement it in your own context. And so
but
I think
also how to think about your change management, your organizational design, your operating model. How is that tech fitting in a world where I know there are a lot of big SaaS renewals coming up for some of the bigger vendors and people are looking elsewhere. And so there's a lot we can do there. That's a shameless plug for Rise Now, but it's also a big consideration is don't just think about the tech, right? You need to think about the whole world around your tech.
Yeah, I would say like the tech supports the process, supports the business rules, supports the objectives and the strategy. And so they all need to be aligned to work correctly.
Yep.
And so subscribe to the Pure Procurement newsletter. We've got newsletter.pureprocurement.ca up there if you're not reading already, sharing best practices all year long, but also all the major announcements with the Cup if you want to follow along next season as well. And I'm going to finish off by thanking you, Sheena, and the Rise Now.
Thank you, my friend. It's been a pleasure. I don't know what I'm going to do from 11 to 11:30 every day without seeing your face now.
I think you'll be more than glad to have a break from my face. So a big thank you, Sheena. I couldn't have done it without you this year and the team at Rise Now and the support that you provided and the co-hosting and Gabe's support as well and his pointed questions. So a big thank you to you and a big thank you to people watching, right? So I know you followed us potentially since September and you've been along for the journey right up until today. And so a big thank you to the viewers. If you're not there, if you don't find this valuable, nothing happens, right? So a big thank you. And we'll see you again next season. Stay tuned to see what happens. Talk to you soon.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.